Good to go. I don't know what happened to my, like, recent followers and stuff. On OBS, it still appears, but it just, I can't see it. Like, the little source is still there. But I'll have to try and fix that next time. Whenever that may be. But anyway, we're going to be playing some Eldrazi taxes tonight. But we are going to make some more changes. Do I only have 3 Lingering Souls? Man, I'm just the least prepared for these streams. I've been busy this past week. I guess like yesterday and today, meeting up with friends and stuff. But we don't own a 4th Lingering Soul to put in this deck. Where are the Spaghetti Bros at? We're playing some Spaghetti Bros tonight with some main deck Lingering Souls. If you saw the recent Reddit tournament report, who's selling this? Mana Traders seller _3. Cool. I have to buy a single copy of Lingering Souls real fast. Oh, okay, window, you can open up over there, I guess. Okay, window, you can just go away, I guess. No, I don't want you to sell you anything. I just want to... Oops, wrong command. There we go. Sell me this Lingering Souls. Cool. Just ordered a Bitter Blossom Bishamley. This is that email promo code. Sweet. Bitter Blossom I've been really enjoying. And this sideboard actually still has a Bitter Blossom in it. We're gonna give the Lingering Souls builds another try. After I saw the tournament report, the person spoke pretty highly of it, so we're going to... What did they do? So they're playing 3 Lingering Souls in the main deck. And they cut these Shalais. They cut a Thalia for the 3rd one? That's sacrilege. Maybe I can only play 2. I guess I can actually kind of see cutting the 1 Thalia because you are playing these Lingering Souls, so suddenly Thalia is not as good in your deck anymore. We are going to change up the sideboard a little bit. I was actually very interested in one of the ideas behind this deck, which is just cutting Rest in Peace just completely, which I am actually a little bit into now that once I started thinking about it, because there aren't a whole lot of super dedicated graveyard decks, and I'm already like giving up the matchup against Dredge. The Storm matchup's fine with all of your Thalias and Tidal Scholars and Thought-Knots and stuff anyway. So it's definitely not unreasonable to just, like, not play Rest in Peace right now. And then... Orzhov Pontiff. Instead of this Forge Tender. Something like this, I think, is a pretty reasonable build. I've never been a fan of Kumbal, just because it's kind of only good in the matchups that you're already very good in. I can kind of see the 3rd Fatal Push, but I kind of like a list like this. We'll try something like this out. I'm definitely interested. I feel bad not playing 4 Thalias, but... Gotta export this list to Stream Decker. Upload new deck. Alright. That should be good. So this is the list we're gonna play. I do feel like it's kind of sacrilege to not be playing 4 Thalias, and I'm opposed against it. I'm opposed to it morally in my heart of hearts, but I feel like this deck does have a lot of elements against grindy strategies. Like with... Oh, I forgot the Zealous Persecution was over here. I also forgot this Damping Sphere was over here. We're going to cut this Damping Sphere, too. I always play 3-mana Thalia. I've hated 3-mana Thalia. It makes me uncomfortable. Thalia is just, like, such a good card, even in Modern. We're going to cut this Damping Sphere, though. What am I playing instead? I don't think I own a third Fatal Push, and I definitely don't want to go buy one right now. Yeah, I only own 2. What else are they playing in their list? Campbell, Settle, Stony. I guess I could play another Stony. Just really stick it to Affinity. Also, the third Stony can help in stuff like KCI that I've been running into. I'll probably just try something like this. And because if I'm not playing Rest in Pieces against Crarkland Ironworks, then you definitely want more Stony Silences and stuff. So let's run it like this. Edit the Stream Decker. 3 Stonies and 0. I guess Damping Sphere is also decent against this, against like Storm, KCI, stuff like that. So maybe it's not even worth it to play the third Stony. But whatever. We'll just really, really not lose to Affinity with like double Fatal Push, Pontiff, Zealous, double Settle, Relic Order, triple Stony. We're just never going to lose to Affinity with this build. But I am definitely interested with experimenting, just not playing Rest in Peace, even in like some mono white variations. Because I have been boarding in Rest in Peace very infrequently, and I only boarded it in matchups where you're usually already pretty reasonably favored. Like, I'm not reliant on Rest in Peace against Storm, especially with this build. Stuff like Tide Hollow, Thought Knot. Sideboard, you have Pontiff and Zealous to beat up Goblin tokens. You have a lot of removal for them. You have Thalia. But anyway, enough chit-chat. We are going to just try out this Lingering Souls version, courtesy of... I'll give a shout-out to whoever... Mean Fanny Pack on Reddit, or a tournament report where they top 4'd a regionals with Eldrazi taxes. So we're playing a similar list. So let's get into it. Person had some, I guess, interesting sideboard strategies for some of these matchups. I can definitely see some of them. Let's join the match. Hollow One. Cutting Vials against Hollow One. Never really thought about that, but might be reasonable. I've never exactly known that sideboard against Hollow One, since most of your cards are, like, awkwardly decent but not great. Opponent mulligan to 6, and we have, like, Arbiter into Thought Knot, or like Tide Hollow into Thought Knot, or something like Path and stuff. So yeah, that sounds great. Told you I had like some other... Yeah, I mean, we tried out for like that one league, right? But then there was the Modern PTQ the next day. So I kind of forgot about it. But it reinvigorated my interest in playing main deck Lingering Souls. Opponent's on Steam Vents. Gotta be more of an RP here. So if they just leave up mana, probably want to... Yeah, they're probably just gonna remand whatever I play here. But we're gonna play Tide Hollow, since if I just played Arbiter, I can easily just get bolted or something. Why wouldn't you have fun? That's true. I do like the moniker of like why win when you can just like fuck around. If we were trying to win, we'd stream a lot more humans. Yeah, we just get remanded. That's fine. Opponent has, like, Blood Moon. It's not great. We can at least play this Leonin Arbiter, because we do have the basic planes. Yep, that's what I figured. Unfortunate that we have 2 Thought Knot Seers. Now, might end up pathing on my own creature to get the black source. But yeah, opponent with just remanded to Blood Moon and I don't have Vial is just gonna not end well at all. Opponent's on some sort of Blue Moon strategy. We'll play to figure out what exactly they're doing. I don't know if they're on Breach, or like Kiki, or just normal Blue Moon stuff. That was rude. Well, I'll keep casting my spells. Wow, Spell Snare. Come on, opponent. You gotta be like that. Eh. Opponent will run out of things eventually. Or at least, like, let me path my own creature, please. Now they'll probably take my path since it's the only castable spell in my hand. Yep. And then Bolt. Why didn't they, like, click me in the draw step? Why click me in response to Leonin Arbiter? Seems just like a very weird place to click. Oh man, this hand would have been really good if we were on the play and we were able to just Thought Knot this Blood Moon. But yeah, this deck is very hard pressed to beat Blood Moon. Did I want to just like bolt my face? Oh, electrolyze my face. Okay, that's more fair. I'm gonna say bolting my face when I'm at like 18 life seems a little aggressive, but electrolyze is fine because it cantrips, and then my hand is just all uncastables. Snap, bolt my face. We draw like Swamp, we're still in it? Plains, that doesn't do it. Cool. So we tried. The opponent on the Mold of 6 and with Remand Blood Moon is definitely not where we want to be. We also don't know if they're on like Breach or not. So we're gonna board in all of our like obvious anti-control cards. Also our anti-Blood Moon card. It's just a question of do I want stuff like Zealous or Pontiff to sweep up possible Thopters from like P and Kiran, and then the click and snaps we already know is in their opponent's deck. Guess it depends on what's bad. Stranglers are pretty bad. I can cut at least 2. Maybe don't Shave Arbors on the play. Maybe we'll just do something like this. I might shave some number of Arbors on the draw since they're a little awkward, and my opponent probably doesn't have too many fetches in their deck. Opponent with a lot of like basic island and stuff to supplement their Blood Moons. So we'll probably do something like this. And then hopefully just, draw a little bit better. Of all the Blood Moon decks, I'm least scared to play against Blue Moon, honestly. It's a lot harder to beat Mardu Pyro or the other, what is it? Ponza, that's the one. With Strangler. Enchantment removal. It's like very like jank enchantment removal. And that's we have to have the Vial on 3 because there's nowhere we're gonna have 6 mana and all 3 of our basics to beat the Blood Moon. Maybe it's actually kind of reasonable to board out Thought Knot because I can't cast it, or some number of Displacers because I can't activate them through a Blood Moon or something. The plan might just be to like have Aether Vials, so I'm taking a long time. Maybe on the draw I'll cut some number of Thought Knots and or Displacers, but on the play you just want to be able to like slam turn 3 Thought Knot or use Scullers and leverage them to the point where like their opponent's Blood Moons don't really matter. Which is something you're able to do in this matchup specifically. So Mardu Pyro builds Doran Blood. Yeah, that's true. When they do, it's a bummer. When they don't, it's much more winnable. But Ponza, God, I hate the Ponza matchup. It's like probably the deck I want to run in against least with this deck. Would like to play first. Yeah, this hand's fine. We drew the 1 path in our deck, which is kind of really awkward, but we have Tight Hollow and Arbiter and stuff. Moon takes both white, but they don't really care about their white mana. Because they just like discard the Lingering Souls and then flash it back. And they've stopped playing stuff like Lightning Helix. We're gonna play Scholar here. God, does my opponent have Spell Snare? Please opt. Please don't Spell Snare me. They just tried to Ceremonious Rejection my Tide Hollow. That's hilarious. So I give actual no fucks about this thing in the ice. Because I actually have the Arbiter plus Path here. So it's either Jace or Cryptic. It's probably Jace. I can play around Cryptic once I know it's there. Although, maybe it is just Cryptic, because they probably won't be in a very good position to play a Jace, since I'll be so much more ahead. Take the Cryptic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the opponent just tried to Ceremonious Rejection my Tide Hollow Scholar, but it is not counter-target artifact. Counter-target colorless spell. Oh man, do I just leave this and Thought Knot them? I probably do. I can just... But they're not tapping out next turn. But I need to play this Thought Knot while Ceremonious Rejection's down. And if they tap out for something, we can always Arbiter plus Path still. So while they're tapped out, we'll just slam Thought Knot. What did they draw? They drew an Opt. Yeah, we're gonna take Jace. So if they don't shock the Steam Vents... Oh, they're playing the Lighthouse. Interesting. So now they can very efficiently play around a Leonin Arbiter. So I don't know if I want to give them path value. Since this thing is... I'm missing out on 2 damage if I don't path this immediately. Oh, opponent can actually Ceremonious Reject my Aether Vial. Which they might do. And then if they opt, then we get to path it. Yeah, I'm down to get this Vial countered. If they Ceremonious Reject this and then opt, then we get this path in. Yep. That's what I figured. I'll let them resolve the opt first. Since I don't want them to make any decisions. They only have colorless up, so it's not like they can counter this path anyway. So we are a little soft at Blood Moon, but they need Blood Moon plus a board wipe at this point. Plus an answer to this Thought Knot, since most of their board wipes probably can't kill a Thought Knot. Excited for the RPTQ this weekend. I'm like a little bit nervous. Because I'm probably not the best at Standard. I've been practicing, but like... I'd definitely be more comfortable if I was playing Modern or Legacy. So my opponent is Snapcaster Mage. They can snap Opt and trade with my Tide Hollow, but then I get to Flicker Wisp my Thought Knot and just take the Cryptic. So I'm fine with that. Opponent just bolts it. Okay, that's fine. They don't have Cryptic mana up here. So if I resolve this Flicker Wisp... then we get to take their Cryptic. Ooh, do they have Remand? It's annoying. Just play Chain Whirler. I'm playing Mono Red, and I'm playing Chain Whirler Control. But... because, like, Team Standard is just such a horrible abomination of a format that it's just so hard to play 3 standard decks. So the opponent has a Cryptic in hand. So we're just going to attack with these two, I guess. We can't animate Shambling Vent and play this Flicker Wisp, so... we're going to see what they fire off. They might tap down my creatures. Or they might just set up to, like, try and bounce Thought Knot end of turn or something. I don't know what my opponent's game plan is. Confirm. Yeah, the format is just, like... I feel like it's just going to be, like, Chain Whirler decks butting heads. Do they have another Ceremonious? Is that their plan? And then, like, 2 really bad decks. This is going to be a real bummer if they actually have the second Ceremonious here. Otherwise, we can Thought Knot them twice if this resolves. Ooh, nice. Do I even want to Thought Knot them twice? This Spell Snare is garbage. I'll take the Anger of the Gods, but... I don't think I want them to draw an extra card because their Spell Snare does nothing. Even if they draw, like, Snap Anger of the Gods, we'll have 6 in play if I play this Flicker Wisp, so... They actually can't crack this Flood Trend, I wasn't even thinking about that. So yeah, I'll just add to the board. Look at this swamp, who cares? Not flicking the Arbiter, so they can't crack the fetch. They should be pretty close to dead here. They need to draw more Cryptic commands. That seems like you're just dead. Because now you have access to 1 mana, yeah. Alright, so we won that game. Thought Knot... So I don't really want to board out Thought Knot because it's so good if they don't have Blood Moon, because their deck is so bolt-based, it's just so hard for them to kill it. I could see cutting some number of Displacers, though, on the draw, just because they're really bad under a Blood Moon. What do I want? So my opponent's Thing in the Ice, so they're likely not... likely not, like, just their normal Blue Moon rather than Breach or Kiki. So Strangler doesn't actually kill a thing. Neither is Zealous and Pontiff are probably, like, kind of bad. I could use these Veil Pushes over, like, Path, even. What do I want to do? I can see cutting, like, Displacer for push. Probably just, like, push is better than Path. The question is, do I want some number of these Path Exiles as well? My opponent is probably winning with creatures, so I could see, like, 3 removal spells like that. Even, like, cutting an Arbiter. Arbiter is just so awkward against, like, when you're on the draw with this deck. And we are pretty set up to win the long game if we get out an early Aether Vial or they don't have Blood Moon. Just like stuff like Thought Knot Seer is just such a house. We'll try this. Notably, cutting down on colorless cards makes their Ceremonious restrictions worse. Although the only real important colorless card we have is Thought Knot Seer. I guess Aether Vial, they could counter that on turn 1 if they don't cast Serum Visions. I'm down for an opener with Aether Vials in it, for once. I would like to just play an Aether Vial on turn 1. And also have it not get countered. Why did my opponent bounce my Thought Knot last game? Shouldn't they have just tapped down my creatures? Seems like a vaguely poor choice on the opponent's part. Took extra damage and they let me Thought Knot them again? They could have still, like, just tapped down, draw a card. I would have just Flicker Wisped my Thought Knot. Anyway, which would have had a similar effect. But, I don't know. Seemed like an odd choice from the opponent. since I very rarely had the mana to recast it, and they couldn't even counter it if they like top decked Ceremonious Rejection off of the Cryptic because their fetch was locked down by the Leonin Arbiter. I don't know. Let's just hope my opponent doesn't have remanded into Blood Moon this time. I think this hand's like uncomfortable, but good enough. Put a mulligan to 6. I think I'm just supposed to keep these hands. Scholars are kind of dicey in these matchups, though. So much removal, but I definitely don't want to be mulliganing. If we draw... Oh, we have a lot of things we can draw. Lingering Souls is really good here. Any of our, like, 4-drops, Gideons, Thought-Knots, or anything, we're going to keep. Scratch to the bottom. Turn 1 Serum Visions. Let's top deck Aether Vial. 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 One-time deck. I'll also accept Thought-Knot Seer as the top deck. That's not the worst. I could turn 2 Displacer if I want to. But I probably will just turn 2 Scholar. Seems a lot better against my opponent's Mono Lightning Bolt deck. I think casting a spell on turn 2? A thing, sure. Alright, let's go nuts with these Tide Hollows, I guess. Huh? Yeah. Thinking the ice is a little more awkward on mulligans. A 4th volley would really help. Would be nice. Did they draw Electrolyze? Some days you're just not lucky. Some days you were just not destined to win. So we need to draw Aether Vial here, basically. Basic Plains barely lets us do anything. Next deck. We can at least play a 3-3, which still doesn't even attack through Thing in the Ice. What'd they do with that Serum Visions? Top. Oh dear. It's probably like Bolt Electrolyze or whatever. Jace, sure, yeah. I'm tempted to concede this, because I think we're very, very, very dead. God, that Blood Moon was so bad. If they just had... It's like so much worse that it was on the top of their deck, too. If it was just in their hand, we would have taken it, and then they could have braid my Tide Hollow, but we just had a second Tide Hollow, and we would have been completely fine. Ugh. Feels like we are dead. Yes, I believe we are very, very dead. Where's my spreadsheet? There we go. Where's Blue Moon? Did they bounce my Tide Hollow for a braid? They bounced the Displacer. Weird. Sure. Why did they bounce the card I can cast? Gonna Cryptic this? Where's Blue Moon on this list? Have I not played against Blue Moon? Recently? Yep, sure. Alright, yep. I'm good. Paper whenever I was scratchy would blindly title my favorite thing. Just ask my opponent what life title they're at. Say top after the answer. play those mind games. What life you're at? 20? This is turn 1. You just fetch shocked for serum visions. Okay. I'll keep both on top. Blue moon. 1, 2. Yeah, that was unfortunate luck there. I think we had a very good hand and could actually have fought through a blood moon. We just weirdly could not fight through a top deck blood moon because of everything that we had going on. We also didn't draw any of our like insane cards. No Lingering Souls, no Gideons, no. I guess we drew Thanatos here, which is like technically an insane card. And we'll keep this. Turn 3 Thanatos pretty good. Hopefully my opponent's not a human, and we just get run over here. Oh god, this is... Please be not Ponza. For the love of Christ. Please do not be playing Ponza. Please be playing... I don't know what other deck plays Stomping Ground. Jund? No. Wait. Burn? Titan Shift. Alright. We can be Titan Shift. Alright, we can do this. We have Thalia into Thought-Knot. This isn't the worst. It's still horrifying, obviously. Titan Shift's like scary, not necessarily a bad matchup, but just a matchup you always get nervous in. You like Bolt plus Farseek or something. Main deck Baloth, cool. Alright, well we have Thought-Knot into Thought-Knot, so that's pretty good. I might actually attack with this Thought-Knot next turn. Nice Reclamation Sage. We'll take your Scape Shift. Displacer. So I think I'll just set up Displacer next turn. Because this turn I can play another Thought-Knot, and the next turn I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So if I attack with this Thought-Knot, trade here, play my new Thought-Knot, next turn I'll be able to play Displacer plus Activation on Thought-Knot, and then hopefully prevent them from doing a lot. So we're gonna learn from our mistakes yesterday and trade with the Thought-Knot first. Thought-Knot them again. Take your Prismatic Omen, I guess. So as long as they don't top deck Primeval Titan here, which I swear to God plays Forest, so it's good. Attack first. So they have Mountain, Rex Sage, question mark? If they have a Bolt, it actually gets a little awkward with this Thought-Knot Seer here. Oh, they don't. Cool. Draw step. We will blink the Thought-Knot. What do they have now that they want to cast? Okay, did they just draw the Bolt then? The pause on the end step made me think that they actually had it, though. and that maybe they just decided in vain to do this. Tribelder, Explosives, or Rex Sage. I think I just take this Tribelder, honestly. Explosives does close to nothing. Tribelder blocks my Thought Knot. If they Explosives my Thalia, we just, like, have another Thalia. We just need to kill them as fast as possible. Let's see if my opponent knows how to play Explosives through a Thalia. Oh, maybe they just want to play a Reclamation Sage? Sure. So if I play land, I cannot animate and cast Souls, so we're... Oh, actually, the Souls cost 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can only cast Souls once anyway. But we'll play Souls here instead of animating. Is that what it does with graveyards when you have, like, cards you can use? Just stick it up there? Because that's kind of annoying. So we need to fade all of their Scape Shifts and Primeval Titans and whatever that, Haha! Nice! Got on with the Thalia plus... plus trying to kill my spirits. They have to pay the Thalia tax, and that adds to the Sunburst. So you actually make your opponent's explosives not be able to be put on 0, unless they have colorless mana. So now I think I can animate Shambling Events plus Flashback Souls, right? Animate 1, 2, 3, and then I'll have 3 mana left? Yeah. Block there makes sense. Taking 6? Sure. So they're at 5, which means even if they draw, like, Anger of the Gods, they're still dead to Shambling Vents plus Thought Knot. If they draw Primeval Titan, they can only get, like, 1 bolt because they have no cards in hand. So they need to draw exactly Scape Shift, and they have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 8? Yeah, they have 8, so I'm already dead to Escape Shift, even if I'm at 21, so... Might as well flashback the Souls to beat, like, I don't know, an Obstinate Bailoff or something. Haven't done the math on whether I died to this. I think I just died to, like, the 3 Scape Shifts left in their deck. I am the actual unluckiest human being on the planet Earth. I am, without the shadow of a doubt, the unluckiest person on Earth. God. Couldn't have drawn Primeval Titan, opponent. We are very, very, very dead. Opponent is dealing me 36. We are not at 37 or more life. Dang. Opponent saw the line of targeting my face with all of those. Bummer. So sideboard plans. I don't think we have a lot in the realm of sideboarding for this matchup. Yeah, we really, like, don't have anything. Is Relic Order worth it if they're on Prismatic Omen? And Engineered Explosives? Maybe this is worth it. Cut like a Souls. Souls is very slow in this matchup, not really what this matchup is all about. Maybe something like Orzhov Pontiff for Zealous punches through extra damage. You can see Zealous, it kills off their like Rex Sages or whatever. Allows me to trade through Baloths with like Thought-Knot Seers or something. Even like a 3/3 eats a Baloth. Something like that, I guess. Let's just try being less horrendously unlucky. Man. It's like, alright, well, I'm dead to 3 cards in their deck, and they have it. I cannot catch a break. All of these streams, we just always very, very unlucky. Maybe it's worth bringing in something like Pontiff, too, over the other Lingering Souls. Hey, man, how's it going? Pretty good. We played... Oh, man. Spire Space, I was actually waiting for you to show up at some point. We have the greatest moment playing Thalia Stompy the other day. Let me post the clip in chat here. It was so good. It was such a good win. I was so happy. But yeah, it's going pretty good. This hand's fine. We have Arbiter on the play is so good against this deck. I was on the cliff. Oh man, there was another streamer. Oh, it was so good. I'm happy you got the clip. I was as soon as we were like triple bridge locked, I was like, all right, the game plan is make my opponent draw a bunch of cards with these Thought-Knot Seers, and then hope they don't draw any instants. It was so wonderful. Made the whole day yesterday worth it. We did also 3-2, so that was fine. And I punted my game, one of my matches against humans. So the tempting play is like Displacer this turn, and then next turn we can Violent Arbiter and have like Displacer mana to protect it. Being dead next. Yeah, we were at 2 life facing an onboard Chandra, 4 Blood Moons, and like 3 Ensnaring Bridges. I have a Smasher, 3 Thought-Knots, a Sorceress Spyglass Displacer, and a Copter. It was so good. I think I might actually want to defend this Arbiter. If opponent has Bolt, then like our hand just does nothing. So the better play might just be cast Displacer here. Then next turn we have Violent Arbiter, plus we have the ability to blink it if we need to. If they want to bolt this Displacer, then they're down 1 more bolt for the Arbiter. Opponent might just have the bolt here, in which case I'm much more happy I played the Displacer. What do they do? Yep. So that's why we don't just run out the Arbiter there. Looks like... Holy shit, I'm gonna put up a video on Thalia Stompy. Ooh. I'll definitely have to take a look at that later. Opponent just main phase Elder. Oh, they're playing around Violent Arbiter. That's good for them. It's a pretty good top deck. Not gonna lie. Take a look what they've got going on there. Well, that hand is like pretty stacked. Not gonna lie to you, opponent. Opponent only has 3 lands though. I just have to take this. I can't take all their stuff, so we're just gonna take this roast and hope they can't hit their land drops. Because if I take the Explorer to try to prevent them hitting land drops, they can cast Roast on my Thought Knot, and then they still get to, like, draw a card. So we just take the Roast. Maybe we're supposed to Violent Arbiter now to beat, like, a fetch land if they draw it. They probably cast Explore here. I really hope they drew a Mana Ramp spell. Nope, just a Valakut. Oh, they drew 2 lands for turn? Really? God. Actual unluckiest people alive. And one of them was a Valakut, so they could start getting triggers. I think that's familiar with this, so it's not anything new. But yeah, it's definitely always nice getting new perspectives on the lists. We can't even profitably, like, Flicker Wisp to Thought Knot them, because they have essentially 3 Primeval Titans in hand. I guess they do actually need a green source they're missing. We can Flicker Wisp a land. Can we set up lethal? So if we attack for 6 this turn, or even if we've used the Cell's Persecution now, attack for 5, 6, 7, 8. Next turn we'll have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Although it's 6 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they're actually dead even if we don't Zealous here. So we can just Flicker Wisp their Stomping Ground here to make sure they can't cast, to like make sure they really can't cast a Primeval Titan. Okay, they don't have this Explorer in their hand anymore. They drew the land. We would have definitely got prime-timed here. But that means their hand is just prime-time Summoner's Pact, so now they're dead. Unless they can Summoner's Pact for something relevant. If they Summoner's Pact for a Sakura Tribe-Elder, they'd lose, too. Because we can Zealous it out of the way and then attack them for lethal. Oh, they actually also can't. No, they can't cast. They can cast a single green. But most of their single green cards are either Sakura Tribe-Elder or Reclamation Sage, both of which just die to this Zealous Persecution. They can't go get, like, a Baloth because they don't have the double green here. Also, because I guess they need to pay 2 mana for the Pact. But they could do that. Pay 2 mana, search, Pact, play Elder or something. But that doesn't keep them alive here. You lose to the land coming back, right? Do I? What are they going to do with the... because they're, like, dead next turn. Oh, they get, like, a... Did they get a Valkyrie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this Elder. 6. Oh, maybe they can get the Valakut online. You might be right. Maybe it was more right to flicker the Valakut itself than trying to take them off of green. I didn't think about this. Since you can't kill it. Yeah. Yeah, if they bolt... I think it depends on where this goes, right? They play the Sakura. They have to sack it right here. If they... But they'll sack it here. Yeah. So they bolt the Flicker Wisp, and then we're not. We're no longer alive, I think. Yeah, because this mountain goes in. Maybe it was more correct to blink the Valakut. I didn't think that far ahead. What are they going to blink here? Or what are they going to shoot? The Flicker Wisp? Oh, yeah, he has to pay green with the Pact, too. Probably hit Arbiter. So he won't be able to prime time next turn, and then we could probably get there with the Thought Knot. Wow, hitting the Flicker Wisp, interesting. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because the opponent's hand is just prime time, which they cannot cast. Yeah, Ghost Quarter or Wisp is just the actual game, because they won't be able to pay for it. Aw, man, if they had killed the Arbiter, we could kill them with this Displacer. But I think we can just attack them for 6, hold up Displacer plus activation here, since they are just dead. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're down double green, they can't even scape shift me, we should just be fine. They have to pay the 4 mana. If they anger the gods me, they're still dead. Yeah, let's see, they try to bolt here, but they can't. So their hand is just prime time. And we can just Violin this Displacer, save the Arbiter. Okay, yeah. Almost kind of ruined that, but I think, yeah, with them having to pay for the pack next turn, that we were, like, pretty solid. But it was definitely reasonable. I think, playing optimally, we just blinked the Valakut there. Wait, but then, that still doesn't work, right? Because they could do the same play if we blink the Valakut. The Valakut just comes back in on their end step, and then they sack the Elder, right? Because they'd have the 5 mountains already, and they'd have the Valakut in play after the end step. So I think we actually couldn't turn them off of using the Valakut, so trying to hit them, to turn them off of their green mana was better. Because they top-decked the Cinderglade. So yeah, I think, okay, never mind. We didn't misplay. We were just, opponent had decent top decks, but I think they were just dead anyway. Yeah, taking them off of green is the right choice. These Lingering Souls are just all horrible, and I hate them. I want to play none of them in my deck, but it's probably not worth playing something like Pontiff. At least Zealous is cheap, and both buffs my team and, like, cleans up Sakura Tribe Elders and stuff from the opponent's side. It's probably worth it just shipping it back like this. I guess we also had, like, we just had Leonin Arbiter in play, didn't we? So their prime times weren't that scary. Until they got up to the mana where they could pay for the Surge and play prime times and stuff, but we were pretty good there. Let's just draw a pile of Leonin Arbors and Ghost Quarters. This hand feels risky. Put a mulligan to 6, we're on the draw. Turn 1 Vial. 2 draws at another land. This Relic Order is bad. This Strangler's probably not very good. But, like, Thalia or Scholar, but Path isn't very good. I think this hand's, like, bad enough that we can ship it for a better 6. We have so many cards that are just medium. Alright, well, this hand also kind of sucks. But we have lands to cast our spells, at least. What's up, Yaz? Good to see ya. I do not want a Path to Exile. Please don't Moto bug me. Moto. Suspend search. If you're back on the sideboard slots. Apparently Tron hasn't been seeing that much paper play. I'd have to go look at the list again. But I definitely feel like there are just matchups that are just kind of blank slates in terms of, like, oh, let's see what I'm going to go to the sideboard for here. And you look at the sideboard and there's, like, just no cards. But I can't, like, rattle off anything off the top of my head. Opponents exile 2 searches? Jeez. This is not great for me. Like, I can definitely see you wanting some stuff for grinding matchups a little bit more. Luckily, the Jeskai matchup's just, like, great all the time. Because they have so many bolts and pads and stuff. Chalice 1 is just so good against them. But if you were to play against stuff like blue-white control, with just more planeswalkers and wraths and stuff, it'd be more scary. Or stuff like Jund. I've never played against Mardu Pyro. So I can't say anything about that. But I imagine that matchup's probably fine, because they lean on, like, bolts and pushes, which are pretty bad against stuff like Smasher. What is the opponent doing? Oh. I mean, I guess that's fair. Opponent has a lot of mana ramp, which is horrifying, because we are probably not going to win this game. Doesn't matter what I choose, they just bolt it. Opponent just needs to draw, like, a Scape Shift or a Primeval Titan before I find some stuff to do. Opponent gets another land here, and they could Farseek hold up Bolt or whatever. Yep. So I'll play Tide Hollow here, because Flickerous just gets bolted. Let's keep density of cards. Discard Lens. That's all it makes them keep playing. 1 second. Newer gen lists have been favorable for me. The older, more walker heavy. Yeah, the walkers are always the worst part when you're playing most Taxes variants. It's just so hard to beat those stupid things. The highest percentage of games that I've lost against BGX decks are when they just pass the turn with 2 mana up, and then you play your creature for the turn, like a Thalia or Leonin Arbiter, and then they just bolt it, or push it, or decay it, or terminate it, or whatever. They untap, and they play Leonin on the Veil, and then you're just dead. Because it's just so hard to scrape back from this Planeswalker that can just, like, basically kill your next 2 creatures. Yeah, Smasher can really give him the business. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the Liliana case that I just listed is better for, like, Thalia Stompy, because you can smash her into it. Opponent is tanking on this Tide Hollow Scholar. But this deck and mono white taxes and stuff that I've played, just you lose a lot to Jund decks that are just removal spell into Liliana you. Even like Liliana the last time was so gross. Gotta take this bolt. Opponent just has infinite removal or infinite ramp. Opponent's going to be able to cast Primeval Titan the following turn. So I really want to draw like Eldrazi Displacer, Thought-Knot Seer, because if I can get some sort of like Displacer lockdown going. They drew Explore, cool. Valakut, cool. They start like bolting my guys now, right? They just already have their 6th mountain. I'm just like not going to be able to beat this without a Ghost Quarter, and they have their bolt back. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Opponent has 1 card in their hand, and it is Lightning Bolt. Can't even like cast this Flicker Wisp. They can bolt down my Flicker Wisp. I guess they can also bolt down my events. I'll attack with it now. So we can just play another events. I don't know why they didn't wait for me to attack if I had a 1-drop here, but sure. So now I need them to never draw anything relevant for the rest of the game, which is impossible because basically their deck is all mountains and, like, Scape Shifts. Alright, that's a reasonable card to draw here. Doesn't die to a single bolt, they need 2. Wait, did I take Search? Oh no, this is the Exile. This is the revealed cards, okay. I thought I took the Search for a second. I was like, I'm pretty sure I clicked that Roast. But now they can combine their Search with like a top decked mountain or a top decked other ramp spell to just kill this Thought Knot and draw a card. Yep. Just gonna double bolt this Thought Knot. They'll just like draw Scape Shift here and just end my suffering. Can we address the fact that I am, like, genuinely the most unlucky human being that has ever walked the face of the earth? Show him what's what. Take that, Titan Shift. Let's go to round 3. The amount of... I don't know what I've done in a past life, but we have been getting horrendously unlucky just, like, very, very recently, these past couple of weeks in general. I don't know what I did. Must have, like, kicked a lot of puppies in a past life or something. We didn't just play against this guy, right? Okay, no, different guy. Sounds like fine. It's a little slow, but we got file hands are just super great, especially on the play. What do I want to be playing against with this hand? What's happening? Marsh Flats, Swamp, Inquisition? Is this could be Mardu Pyro, right? Because they want to fetch their basic swamps because they play Blood Moons. They probably take my Displacer here, right? I have no activators for the Strangler. Yep. Probably not the greatest draw here. It is good if they're planning on Blood Mooning me, but... It could be on, like, some black-white deck. Black-white Garbo. But I don't think it really changes my play if they're just going to pass with 2 mana. We're just going to cast Lingering Souls. Seems pretty good on an empty board here. What would these Lingering Souls be? A Thalia, which would have been good to play on turn 2. Or a Shalai, which would be kind of clunky in this hand right now. What are you on, opponent? Tell me your secrets. Alright, probably Mardu Pyro then. Looking like the most likely scenario here. They gonna Lingering Souls me? Oh, they're gonna Blood Moon me. So that's cool. At least we have 2 Aether Vials versus Blood Moon. Let's draw Flicker Wisp. We can, like, kill the Blood Moon. Yeah, we got double basic planes. Oh, we can't flash back the souls. Dang. We're going to hold on to the Strangler for a little bit, I think. We'll obviously wait to see what the opponent does. But this Strangler is probably better as a possible removal spell or Blood Moon answer than just being a 3-2 for 3. And now we'll probably play 1. Fatal Push, please. Man, is this how people that like actually play Lingering Souls feel when the opponent starts playing 1/1 removal on their 1/1s? Just feels amazing. They might be trying to fuel their graveyard to set up a Bedlam Reveler here as well. They're off by 1, right? So they have 1, 2. Okay, sure. Yeah, opponent, a literal 2 for 1. What you got, opponent? They're just gonna kill this trigger on the stack? Sure. So even like basic Swamp, Flicker Wisp would obviously be like the best draw. That's not a good draw. I'm gonna keep this in the hand to discard to like K commands or something. Might actually be, if I drew Flicker Wisp, it might actually like eat their basic Swamp, get greedy. They're just on all mountains, and we have 2 creatures in play. Their deck is like all removal spells, but we don't have any activators for the Strangler right now. But we do need to beat this Blood Moon, right? So we're gonna wait. Ooh. So now the issue is I need to find the right moment to try and kill this Blood Moon. Because if they have removal, they can fizzle the Wasteland Strangler. And then they get their Blood Moon back. See, now they're tapping low. It is even better if they play a creature. Oh, they're just making me discard a card? I have no instants or sorceries, opponent. Take a look. The issue is that if they're not casting spells, I feel like their hand is just all bolts. In which case it's dangerous to try and go for it here. Although I do just have these vials. Maybe it's worth it to just end step, flicker out this Blood Moon, and then I can even like animate Shambling Vents too. Yeah. We have 2 vials. One only has 3 cards in hand. Could also Ghost Quarter myself to go with the Swamp if this doesn't work. So now they have to take this damage, otherwise I can strangle away the Blood Moon. Oh man, I kind of wanted to Ghost Quarter this Shambling Vent, but now we get to... strangle my Shambling Vent. Processing the Blood Moon. Now I don't need to Ghost Quarter myself as well. But I can leave it up in case they have like a second Blood Moon or something. Might as well make them pay the 2. Or pay the 1 to Fatal Push it, sure. I guess I could I have Ghost Quarter them that turn? Did I want to, even? I think they had 2 mana up. They're getting their second basic Swamp for the next Blood Moon. I can ghost card myself from my swamp. Dreadbore, sure. I have this Lingering Souls in the yard, too. Well, that's a bummer. That is a real good last card for my opponent to have. But we still do have this second half of this Lingering Souls here. Man, they don't have anything in exile either, so we can't do some like Strangler tricks to punch through this Bedlam. Ugh. Flashback Souls. We can't do anything else. They're playing their own souls. Makes sense. I'm gonna have to process this Lingering Souls. That seems like a losing battle. So this becomes a 2-3, so it's still just... Yeah, we'll just take this. Can we draw like another Lingering Souls? That'd actually be really good. That's not great. Ooh, actually, no, that's actually decent. Compares with this Strangler very well. Let's take a look at what's going on in their hand right now. They have Bolt. Obnoxious. Am I not going to be able to take anything, too? Just not get any food for this Tide Hollow? That last card in hand is like a land. Please just let me take something. Ugh. This is so bad for me. Can't even really relevantly attack. If we draw something like Eldrazi Displacer, we can start killing these spirits. Opponent getting... Did the opponent, like, top deck another Lingering Souls? That's the only reason they'd make this attack, right? Because they're just going to cast... No, because then they would have cast more Lingering Souls and then attacked this Bedlam. Opponent with questionable plays that we're still going to get bodied by. Ironically, like, me getting rid of their Blood Moon, they have not drawn a single, like, Faithless Looting or anything. So, like, they wouldn't actually have been... They would just have 2 Lingering Souls. Actually, no, they would have discarded them to the Reveler or something by now. Yeah, we're dead. Ugh. Why am I so bad at this game? So now we board in all of our control stuff. Cutting... Strangler was just, like, embarrassingly bad that game. It's very hard to have activators. It's basically Path or Flicker Wisp. Or, like, Thought-Knots, I guess. Pushes are, like, arguably better than Path in this matchup. You can't push Bedlam Reveler, but it's easier to, like, push a Young Pyromancer on turn 2 or something. But we have a lot of answers to Young Pyro with, like, Zealous, Pontiff, some number of paths. I think it's worth maybe just cutting paths entirely. I mean, is it worth, like, not even playing push? Just because we don't have a lot of cards to cut here. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Cut like a... Actually, probably cutting like 2 Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp is really bad against souls. We'll play a push. The Miser's Fatal Push. Would like to play first. This hand's good enough. We really want to draw something like Temple, but any land really gives us multiple Thought-Knot Seers, which is very hard for opponent's Lightning Bolt deck to beat. And we have Vial, and a Basic, and a Ghost Quarter, all of which are very relevant if my opponent tries to Blood Moon me. Best draws here is probably, like, Arbiter. We get Arbiter Ghost Quarter going. Sure. This is going to end poorly if they take Scholar and Blood Moon me. Alright, let's draw a 2-drop. Bitter Blossom would be insane here. That's not the worst. We really want to hit more lands. But that's good if we can put it into play ever. Sure. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Ooh, opponent on a 1-lander. Ooh, and we top deck Eldrazi Temple. I'm down for everything that's happening here. Bolt, Wear Tear, Young PZ, Blood Moon, 2 Bedlams. Wow, this hand was so greedy. Holy crap, opponent. Doesn't this deck play like 19 lands or something? Keep a 1-land, like, double Thoughtseize just because, like, Blood Moon's so good or something? Double Bedlam's, like, already horrible. Jesus, what is this hand? I guess we just take Young Pyro. This Bolt's not scary. We can take Blood Moon next turn. This Wear Tear blows up my Aether Vial. Still the unluckiest man alive. This, I mean, opponent kept, like, what I think is a very bad hand, so, I mean, that's not my problem. When the opponent draws really well, I get to complain about it. When the opponent draws poorly, it's their own decision. That's how life works, right? Yeah, opponent just conceded. Like, I just don't see a world where you look at your opening hand, it's like 1 land, Thoughtseize, Bolt, Blood Moon, Young Pyro, Bedlam Reveler or something, and like think that's good enough. How many lands does this deck play? I'm pretty sure they play like a very small number of lands because of Faithless Looting. Let me make sure before I keep digging into them for this. Mardu Pyro. Okay, maybe they play 20 lands now. 20. Alright, 20 looks like the mainstay. But still, like, they need to hit multiple land drops for that hand to be any good, and they don't have, like, a Faithless Looting or anything to justify. Wow, wait. This deck plays Ensnaring Bridge in the sideboard? What? We saw the Wear Tear. Leon of the Last Hope, that's horrifying. Ensnaring Bridge? Can I beat that? I have like 2 Wisps. I guess that's more of a reason to have Leon and Relic Ward in my deck. Do I need to like put Wisps back in my deck so I don't get Ensnaring Bridged out of this game? Because that would be a frustrating way to die up Mardu Pyro. But on the play, I feel like I need even more answers to it. Early Young Pyromancer. Fatal Push is horrible against my opponent. It's 8 creature deck, though. They just have Young Pyros and Bedlam Revelers, and that's it. I think we just need to, like, draw Bitter Blossom. I don't think my opponent's deck can beat Bitter Blossom very well. If we just play Bitter Blossom on turn 2, we should be pretty set. Wow, do they just not even play, like, Anger of the Gods or Port Wipes anymore in this deck? Weird. 3 Blood Moons in the main. Those one SCG regionals, at least. God, Blood Moon, so gross. I guess we have Pontiff and Zealous that answer Young Pyro, so maybe we can cut this push for, like, another Wisp. Because I am suddenly extremely scared of Ensnaring Bridge. It's in, like, multiple sideboards here. Oh, this guy plays 1 Anger of the Gods, at least. But, like, 3 Ensnaring Bridge, 2 Ensnaring Bridge, 3 Ensnaring Bridge, 3 Ensnaring Bridge. God, that is some tech I am uncomfortable with. But what is it for? I guess you can empty your hand and, like, you kind of play, like, the burn plan? Ooh, well, we drew Bitter Blossom. We don't get Thoughtseize. This hand's just, like, good. We will slam this turn 2 Bitter Blossom, not particularly close. And if they Thoughtseize us, we can still, like, play Thalia at least. Put them to 6. I think my opponent is very hard-pressed to beat a Bitter Blossom. I guess they have Wear Tear in their deck, right? They can beat a Bitter Blossom. Never mind. I forgot they're not strictly like a black-red deck. They do have cards that can interact with this Bitter Blossom. I guess the Ensnaring Bridge is decent for like the humans matchup or something. EE is just better for them. Yeah, EE would make sense. I did see EE in some of the sideboards I was scrolling through. Am I supposed to play Thalia here? It's weird. So they mulligan to 6. They fetched out the Foundry, but that might be just because they have Lingering Souls in hand or something. I think I just have to slam this Bitter Blossom and hope they don't have it. Their plan is probably just removal spell into Blood Moon me anyway, and I'd rather get down my card I can't cast through a Blood Moon right now. Whereas if they Wear Tear this and then cast a Blood Moon, at least I can play Thalia and Displacer and hopefully, and like Souls and hopefully do something with that. Could also play Displacer, but I think the plan is just Bitter Blossom. If they don't have exactly Wear Tear, then we can just house them with this Bitter Blossom. And they're far more likely to have a removal spell for a generic thing. Aw, man. Back to being never lucky, Spider Space. Now they're gonna Blood Moon me. Surprise, surprise. Ooh, alright. Deal. The Bitter Blossom was bait, so now they can't kill our Aether Vial. It was all planned. If we find our other white source, we can actually Relic Order the Blood Moon, for what it's worth. But if we find our other white source, we can already cast everything in our hand. K Command is such an asshole of a card. Right? Opponent is just... all their stuff just lined up so well here. Okay, and they Inquisition my only castable spell. So yeah, back to being the unluckiest person on the planet. Unless we draw basic planes here. Nice! We found the wrong basic land. Actually, at least we get to Flashback Souls here. It's not necessarily the wrong basic land. Our plan is just race them now. Hopefully they don't draw all of the instants of sorceries in their deck. And we just race them with these spirits. I just need them to draw land for the next 4 turns. Deal. Discard Blood Moon, Marsh Flats. Thought Knot, it's uncastable. Is it worth it to attack with only 3 spirits? It prevents... So essentially it soaks up 2 damage, right? Because it stops them from attacking with their Young Pyro. But it slows down my clock from like 4 turns to 6 turns. And if they have a removal spell, they can just remove a block, like the 1 spirit I leave untapped. Like if the last card in their hand is Bolt or Push or something. I think it's worth it just to punch with all 4. If we draw like Zealous or Pontiff, we can really turn this game around too. Because we actually have the basics to play both of those. Oh dear. Please, please God. Stop giving me such horrendous luck and let me just murder my opponent's day by drawing Orzhov Pontiff here. Alright, so we actually set up lethal here. The opponent needs to not draw a removal spell, but they also get to flashback looting into like a 1-drop removal spell. Or just... Oh, wait, did they have Lingering Souls in their graveyard already? I missed that. So they're not just dead here. Is this just an attack with everything? Am I supposed to block these? Probably. Since I no longer have lethal, I still have 2-turn lethal with 6 tokens. So if I block these, take 4, I go to 11. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to just eat these young pyros. Five, 6, 7, 8. I'm dead to a bolt if I attack with everything. Is it maybe... It's probably worth it to just attack with 5, right? If they block 2, they take 3. And then I actually don't have lethal, right? They take 3, go to 5, and I only have... Oh, no, I have 5 tokens left, right? Because I have 6 right now. Oh, no, they kill 2. So I actually have to attack with everything to set up lethal next turn. So now we just have to hope they don't have bolt. Okay. So now we set up lethal next turn. Unfortunately, these elementals are lethal before this vial can be relevant. Please don't draw any 1-mana removal spells, because I can't beat those. Yeah, they attack for 6. We need to draw, like, Zealous or Pontiff. Alright, well, if they have it, they have it. Die! God. The worst feeling. We actually almost won this! That's... Oh, God, that's so frustrating. Oh, Jesus. Instant speed, discard, disable to shatter or shock, and buy back a guy is great. Jeez, that match was more aggravating than I think the last two. I guess game 1 against Titan Shift was probably like the most tilting game though. I was like, all right, well we're down to exactly 3 cards in their deck. At least against Mardu Pyro, like not gonna be like, oh, opponent drew so well, because we also drew reasonably well for being Blood Mooned. We drew our black basic, which let us flashback Souls, and then we drew a second Souls, and the opponent had multiple lootings to find what they needed. They needed, like, the discard the Lingering Souls to buy another turn, and then the turn after that, they needed a 1-mana removal spell, which they had a lot of between Bolt and Push. So I'm not going to say, like, oh, we got Luck sacked out of that game 3, because it was definitely top decks on both ends, and the opponent's deck had a lot of good draws. Like, had a lot of good draws available. That was just, like, frustrating to lose, because we were actually so close to the finish line there. Fighting through all that garbage. Where's Mardu Pyro? Okay. We had, like, almost crossed that finish line. Ugh. Titan Shift was just a beating. I guess the game where my Blue Moon opponent also top deck Blood Moon was a bummer. Man. Fluffy Wolf 2, thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it. I wish my notifications for raids worked, and I don't know why they don't. Like, it shows up in chat. I see it in Streamlabs. Like, I should have it set up, but I don't know why there's no notification or anything. I have to look into that. Anyhow, the night is not going great. We We're 0-3 right now in a bunch of extremely close games. We just keep not quite getting there. I'm looking to 6. We'll keep this. Hand's good. We have Arbiter, Ghost Quarter, Path, and Vial. This hand is just a lot of good stuff. But yeah, thank you for the raid, Fluffy Wolf. If you're tuning in from their stream, my name is John Ryan, or XJ Cloud. We're streaming some Black White Eldrazi taxes right now. We stream a bunch of Death and Taxes content on this channel, both Modern and Legacy, color splashes of all shapes and sizes. So greetings to everyone who's tuning in there. So opponent's on just Grixis Shadow, most likely. What do I want to lead on in terms of basics? Or in terms of lands? I don't think it matters. I guess playing the Caves tells them more than like playing the Ghost Quarter. Playing the Caves lets them know you're playing against Black-White Eldrazi Taxes versus Ghost Quarter could have been just like Mono-White or something. So we can turn to Displacer if we want to, into like Vial on 2 Ghost Quarter Path. Turn is pretty set up to deal with. They just bolt themselves? That is an aggressive method of getting Death Shadows into play. Are they just gonna play like a 5-5 with Stub, or a 6-6 with Stubborn Denial backup? Oh, they're just gonna play 2 6-6s. Interesting. Well, now we have 2 paths, so that's pretty good. I think I just actually put Ghost Quarter Pass here at this point. Opponent has 2 cards left in hand. Do I want to get stubbed, or do I want to give them a basic? Stubborn Denial's horrible for me. The basic probably doesn't matter. They only have 2 cards left in hand. Their deck is already so mana efficient, so it's probably worth just pathing right now. If the opponent Thought Seizes me or something, I can Ghost Quarter my own land to resolve the second path to exile. Otherwise, I can just wait until next turn. Because I'd really don't want to Ghost Quarter myself if I can help it. But I also really need to kill this second Death Shadow. Opponent going in. Oh yeah, they have Thoughtseize, so now we need to Ghost Quarter my own Caves. Oh, they do have the Stub, that's a bummer. And now they can actually Thoughtseize. Although, now they're going to 3 here? It's actually, like, very risky for them. I guess they do have a 2-turn clog, so I'll have to start chump blocking, though. They have to take Displacer, right? Displacer makes the most sense. Yep. So, they can't, like, Team or Battle Rage me or anything here. We go to 9. If we draw, like, another 2, it'd be good. Okay, so they have no cards in hand. Ooh, that's actually really good. That doesn't actually give me lethal, but that gives me more chump blockers. Lets me set up this Strangler for lethal. Because they're at 3. Strangler having 3 power is pretty relevant. Oops. No, I don't want to pay. This is quite scary indeed. Really walking the razor's edge here. The other card exiles Death Shadow, so we can actually make it so that the Strangler lets us not die even if they... Ooh, never mind. We just... We just drew Path Exile, so we're like super, super, super fine here. Do they have a stub? Nice. They also just didn't search. But okay. Deal. Now we should win. Opponent's at 1. We have 2 lethal threats. I don't think we needed to draw that path there. I think we were fine with the Strangler. Because even if they drew, like, Fatal Push the Arbiter, attack you for lethal, we can put the Strangler in, make the Death Shadow a 7/7, go to 2, and then attack them for lethal. So they needed to top deck, like, 2 removal spells or something in order to win that, or, like, a Team or Battle Rage, something like that. So that was pretty good for us. This is weird, because do I want to sideboard into, like, a grindy deck? More than, like, just a pile of answers to Death Shadow? Like, do I want more Lingering Souls? Do I want this Bitter Blossom? Do I want these, like, Gideons? Because they can definitely grind you out in this matchup. Let's see what's bad, first of all. Aether Vials are kind of a bummer in Thoughtseize matchups. So, we're already down 2 cards here, so I can see... like, Bitter Blossom plus another Souls. We have Gonti in our port. So I've actually really liked Gonti. I'm kind of a, I'm a big fan of Gonti in sideboards of these, like, of the Black-White Eldrazi Taxes variants. Specifically because sometimes it's, like, really awkward to have a card like Gideon in your deck for a bunch of reasons. Give me 1 second, and I'll elaborate as soon as I verify sideboarding plans. This is probably, like, fine. Gideons are a little bit slower. Souls at least, like, make a bunch of chump blockers and attack in the air, which is really relevant, so let's try this. Anyway, so the big issue with something like Gonti over a different super good grindy card, we'll keep, is that Gideon dies a lot. I mean, it's a little weird to say. Gideon dies a lot easier. Gideon's answered a lot easier, I guess, than something like Gonti. In Modern, at least. Because in Modern, the premier control decks are a lot more... have a lot better answers to stuff like Gideon than in Legacy. Like, in Legacy, you play Gideon against Check Pile or Miracles or something, and they're very hard players to answer it outside of, like, Bolt, Snap, Bolt, if they're, like, one or 2 bolts in their deck from Check Pile, or, like, 1 or 2 Council's Judgments out of Miracles. But in Modern, we have, like, Jeskai Control, which has, like, 9,000 Lightning Bolts in it. They can beat Planeswalkers pretty easily. And more importantly, in my mind, is the Jund matchup, BGX, which can very often just kill, like, have a Tarmogoyf in play, kill your Knight or whatever, and just kill your Gideon in, like, 1 swing. So having stuff like Gonti lets you trade with your opponent's relevant mid-rangey threats, like a Tarmogoyf, or, mostly Tarmogoyf. Like a Siege Rhino out of Abzan or something, but lets you trade with something, and you get more value, and it also obviously combos with stuff like Flickerwisp and Eldrazi Displacer. So playing Gonti over Gideon is kind of a concession to the decks that are better equipped to answer Planeswalkers. And it's been performing great. It's also great because it's a 2/3 with Death Touch. It's really good in, like, different Eldrazi matchups. It's good in, like, the Mirror, or Eldrazi-tron, or even against humans. It's a creature with Death Touch, which is just going to be better than a Gideon is. So I really like the Gonti. It's kind of been in my sideboard for a while. Mostly as it was kind of a meme at the start, because I saw it in some sideboards. I was like, this is some sick value if you get Gonti plus Displacer. Also, it's hard to pass up the value of one of my favorite moments in Modern was when I Gonti'd my opponent's Cryptic Command, and then they cast an Elspeth Sun's Champion, and I got to Cryptic Command it. It was glorious. So I was kind of not paying attention to what the opponent was doing there, because I was on my Gonti rant. 2-drop? Yeah. Opponent, what did they... Oh, they Thought Scoured their Thoughtseize Inquisition. Then Thoughtseize me Serum Visions. They top-bottomed. Death Shadow here, 4/4. Yeah, I guess they cycle Street Wraith, play land. Ooh, Gurmag. Alright, that's much more beatable than a Death Shadow. Flicker Wisp doesn't do a whole lot. I think my plan is just Thought Knot them on turn 4, so we're just gonna play a Lingering Souls right now. Does get Stubborn Denialed, but, like, Eldrazi's Placer gets Lightning Bolted or Fatal Pushed or whatever. And I would be kind of surprised if my opponent left in Stubborn Denial in this matchup. Yeah. So we can Chump Block if we need to, but not really right now, because we're at 20. I guess this is another matchup that you kind of want the rest of pieces for, but you have so many other good cards in this matchup. You just have, like, Fatal Pushes and Paths and a bunch of flyers, especially with, like, the Lingering Souls variants. It's definitely interesting to test out just not playing Rest in Peace. It was an idea that it seems so obvious in hindsight, but it's just so easy to be like, oh, I'm playing this white deck that doesn't use their graveyard, let's just put in 2 Lingering Souls on the sideboard. Or not 2 Lingering Souls, 2 Rest in Pieces on the sideboard. But you don't always need it, because there aren't that many graveyard decks. It's like good against Hollow One, I suppose. It's like, what, Hollow One, Storm, Grixis Death Shadow, KCI, I guess, are like the big decks you'd want Rip in. But I'm not terribly concerned, especially with Double Settled Wreckage kind of covering some of your bases there. Opponent's 4 cards in. Yeah, let's Thought Knot them. See what they have going on before I decide to attack with some number of these. You like fetch Fatal Push this trigger on the stack. That's what I imagine they're doing. Fatal Push. Yep. Now we get to take a look at their hand, take their best card. Temur Battle Rage is scary. Death Shadow is not that scary because we can have a flood of Lingering Souls tokens. They can actually snap Battle Rage, which is scary too. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. This could be bad. How am I winning here? I'm winning by taking this Battle Rage and, like, not letting the... Because Snap Battle Rage costs a lot of mana. If I can get, like, Displacer online before then... This is so awkward. If I attack, this Death Shadow gets bigger, too. Maybe it's right to just not even attack. The Death Shadow remains a 5/5. Chump Block this next turn. Hopefully draw a land. I can, like, Displacer plus Flashback Souls. And then, if they only have 2 5/5s in play, they could actually bolt themselves, making it an 8/8. Battle Rage would be lethal. But they would need more lands for that as well. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to attack here. That was a lot of kind of muttering through what we're doing here, but the opponent's hand is, like, pretty stacked. It's going to be kind of hard to win here. Oh no, we exile the Temur Battle Rage. Never mind. We're more okay than I thought. So we don't necessarily have to Chump Block this. We can kind of go to 10. But the opponent can have, like, Bolt Snap Bolt or Bolt Snap Push or whatever. So I think we do start jumping. Yep, they have a 5/5 Death Shadow. So their hand is just Snap and Bolt. Another land. So we can clear out 2 blockers. We can make... This Bolt, like, isn't actually very... Or, like, playing a Displacer makes this Bolt pretty bad for me. Maybe I wait till 6 lands. I can play Lingering Souls plus flash it back. I did miss out. I should have attacked with 1 Spirit last turn if my plan was... If I was thinking about the fact that I exiled the Temur Battle Rage there. I think I will attack with this Spirit now. We have 4 Spirits. They can kill 2. We can still block 2 if we really need to. guess we do take one here. So if they crack this fetch... No, they're still not dead. They'd have to, like, fetch shock. Which would probably be very loose. Opponent probably considering Bolt Snap bolting or Bolt Snap pushing a bunch of my spirits just to, like, get them out of the way. If we draw land, if they use their removal, our Displacer gets a lot better. Or if we draw 6th land. This is a little bit tricky. We do have another Flashback Souls coming down, so next turn, worst case, we can just, like, Displacer plus Flashback another Souls. I think I'm just going to chump block only this Death Shadow. Take 5, go to 9. I do have to keep in mind that my opponent could have, like, up to 3 removal spells. Because they have Snap Bolt, which is guaranteed 2 removal spells that cost them 4 mana. So the last card is a push or another Bolt. Obviously I can't take this, I'm dead to fetch shock. Or just the Bolt in their hand. Likely just to do another Battle Rage already. Yeah, let's block like that. We can attack with, like, 2, maybe 3 spirits next turn. Depending on if they play a card here. We'll produce 3 more blockers. We'll produce Displacer plus 2 more spirits, and they'll very likely bolt the Displacer. So we'll have 2 spirits back, and they'll have a Snapcaster Mage to kill one of them. So I think we leave, like, 2, maybe 1 back, actually. Obviously depends on what they cast here. Snapcaster Mage, okay. Snap Serum Vision's interesting. Maybe they're trying to set up lethal with this Bolt. So if I attack with 3 spirits next turn, and then I make more spirits, I have to take another damage off this Caves. I might actually just go... Oh, jeez. That was a really good draw from either their Serum Visions or for turn. I could Ghost Quarter them 3 times, but that doesn't seem like it does a lot. This suddenly gets more awkward. How many spirits can I attack with? I need to work on setting up lethal for, like, next turn. But I'm at 9 going to 8, essentially. So I'd have to block 2 Death Shadows and also Survive Bolt. So I'd actually have to block Gurmag, Death Shadow, Death Shadow. Because they connect for 7 and bolt me down to dead. So if I play Displacer, Flashback, Souls, I have 7 creatures. They have the Bolt, so I'm down to 6 creatures. I need to block with 3, so I'm down to 3 creatures. God, this is so weird. So can I attack with 3? So if I attack with 3 creatures, I have 3 creatures left after they bolt. So if they have another removal spell, I die, right? No, because they have to use the bolt on the Displacer. So yeah, I think that's fine. The question is, do I want to Ghost Quarter myself to not take a damage? I don't think it matters. 8 and 9 are very similar. I guess being at 9 means I could actually block this Snapcaster Mage instead. I'm likely not going to be able to do anything with my mana anyway. Yeah. Let's just Ghost Quarter myself to take less damage. Hey, what's up, Frosted Deception? How's it going? We are doing not too hot right now. We're like 0-3 in this league. But we're playing a very interesting game against Grixis Death Shadow, so that's pretty cool. It's gonna be a really awkward turn. I think 3 is the right number to attack with. So if they have Bolt, then I don't even have to block the Gurmag. I can just block with 2 spirits and then they die. Yeah, I think 3 is the right number of spirits. Alright, I'll have 6. I got nothing, opponent. This is a tense game. Have you been waving around, how long have you been waving around that shark? I was really focused in on this match. It's been a new Eldrazi aggro deck. Oh, that's cool. Is it like the serum powder list or whatever? Or is it something, one of your own brainchild? Now it's the opponent's turn to sit and think about what their plan is, because this is definitely a complicated board state. Mound Bridge. Oh, nice. Cool, cool, cool. Eldrazi are sweet. I enjoy many of the Eldrazi. We're playing Eldrazi Taxes. Thana's here. Displacer are all great. I do like Reality Smasher, but I don't think it quite fits in this deck. Oh, interesting. Ulamog Walking Ballista. Nice. Those are expensive, right? I know Walking Ballista is expensive online. I forget if it's expensive in paper. But I mean, expensive relatively. I really don't blame the opponent for sitting and like thinking about this board state. They have 2 unknowns. They might have lethal with that. So they decided to very matter-of-factly bolt my Displacer. What's the attack? So I think I just have to block like this and hope there's no... Like, I lose to Snap or Bolt here. Or, like, any removal spell, I guess. Because if they have any removal spell, then I just actually can't attack them for lethal anyway? So maybe this is too risky. Maybe this wasn't a great plan. I could kill the Snap. Then I'm just chump blocking these Death Shadows. I would need to draw something like Settle the Wreckage. Oh, yeah. So ballistas are still nonsense. But alright, we'll just block like this. If we die, we die. Yeah, ballista is, like, pretty nuts, though. If they have Lightning Bolt or Snapcaster Mage, we do die. I'll accept my fate. Or, like, I guess Fatal Push, we also die, because we are just going to attack them for 4 next turn. That is my game plan. Oh, they do have... Alright, they do have Snap Bolt. We were going to die to that, even if we triple blocked, or, like, blocked. We couldn't have beat that. That's fair. Alright, game 3 time. I think I just want the same card. Lingering Souls was very good in that matchup. Gideon seems a little bit too clunky. It might be better than, like, Thought-Knots, but on the play, I think I'd rather have Thought-Knots. That game was very weird. Seems fine. Got a lot of lingering souls. And we have Arbiter, Ghost Quarter, and Path. which can be very good. The Death Shadow deck is very lean, has a lot of like fetch lands and stuff. So Arbiter might be able to punish them. But probably not. They'll probably just like Fatal Push it or Thoughtseize me here. Take Path or Arbiter. Depends on if they have Push in their hand, I suppose. Or if they need to lean on more fetch land. I'm scared to take one of my homebrew decks to the Modern tournament. Yeah, it can definitely be scary. Taking like homebrews and then like you just get massacred by a bunch of like tiered monstrosities or something. But if you can find like a more casual circle of people that have Modern decks to like so you can like test them out rather than like getting horribly bodied or something, then it's definitely a nice kind of like ease into the deep end of Modern. It's very hard to just kind of like dive in and hope you don't die. Please fetch, please fetch, fetch, crack it. Don't Fatal Push me. Just crack the fetch land. Ah, Dismember, rude. No fun opponent. I wonder if the opponent like brought back in Stubborn Denial. Probably really bad. Stubborn Denial is probably not a reason. Ooh. Man, if I Ghost Quarter my opponent, but then I just never hit another land, that's so bad for me. Yeah, I think we just go for it anyway. They fetch here. If they fetch Shock, maybe I don't Ghost Quarter at all. So they might have another push. Standard got too expensive and all your stuff rotated. Yeah, the Standard got like very weirdly expensive. Well, they're just gonna accept their fate, right? Standard has definitely fluctuated in prices, but right now it's like mono expensive mythics. You're playing Karns or Teferis, or I guess Ballista is not a mythic, but playing all these $1 million cards. So if we don't draw a third land ever, we might be in trouble. But I think trying to Mana Denial the very Mana Light deck is probably the way we want to go. Yeah, Hazoret, Chandra, yeah, there's a lot of... I think, did Goblin Chain Whirler spike after the Pro Tour? Oh dear, that's... Oh, we have Path, never mind, we're fine. And we hit a third land. Easy game, easy life. Punch. And now we have Lingering Souls to finish off through this Death Shadow. Yeah, my top decks have been pretty strong here. Third land, that second path after they thought sees the first one. Plus, yeah, Ballista will drop at least. This attack seems a little loose by the opponent. Unless they have Team or Battle Rage and just topped their second land. I think I'll just take it. So, assuming I attack them down to 4 here, their Death Shadow becomes a 9/9. And then if they have untapped land, Team or Battle Rage, I lose, right? I guess regardless, their untapped land will have to be a shock. And it will always kill me, right? Unless I leave everything back to stack block or something. Because even if I don't attack at all, they shock down to 6. Their Death Shadow becomes a 7/7. Team or Battle Rage deals 14. I guess that's technically not lethal, but I'm not killing them if I don't attack at all. I think I just play another Souls. Just attack them with everything. I think the only card that kills me here is untapped land, Team or Battle Rage. Is Reflector Mage legal in Modern? Yeah, Reflector Mage is legal in Modern. It's only banned in Standard. He's able to get Jace VP. Oh, geez. Jace VP was like 100 when it was in Standard. That was some nonsense. Alright, yeah, we should win now. They can't Team or Battle Rage me. Yeah. VP can be a little awkward unless you have a lot of, like, sweet enablers with it. I think I only see VP in stuff like the Goryo's Vengeance decks where it combos. We managed to win that one. Like, very, very barely. We have one more match to go today. Where's my spreadsheet? There we go. Yeah, the Ghost Quarter was pretty nonsense. I'm kind of surprised my opponent didn't... I actually, if they didn't have the... it's tough there. I may have wanted to shock in the land if I were the opponent there when they fetched, just to bluff them having another Fatal Push. Because I would have definitely hesitated on the on pulling the trigger on the Ghost Quarter. Because if I Ghost Quarter there, and my opponent has the Fatal Push, they don't go down a land. And then I'm going down a land with 2 Lingering Souls in my hand, so I might have actually not fired off the Fatal Push. But it's definitely close. Blue-white control finishers. Mostly Planeswalkers, right? Everyone's playing... Yeah, Teferi, like Gideon, Allies Zendikar, or Gideon Jura, or Gideon of the Trials. Yeah, this hand's fine. Usually, blue-white control lists like to favor Planeswalkers as finishers. I'm trying to think if they play anything else, really. Oh, dear. Humans. Can't beat that. How cheap is... I have no idea how cheap Jura is right now, actually. Let's see if I can look that up. Gideon Jura. It's printed like a million years ago. Yeah, Gideon Jura's only like $5. It's on TCG. You can ship free shipping like $350, $360. Wow, I didn't know it was that cheap. Yeah, if you want to start splurging, then you can get JTMSs and Colonnades and stuff. But if you're looking for like more reasonable price range, Gideon Jura is a very feasible win con in blue-white control decks. What's my opponent name when I just play Shambling then? Path to Exile, I guess? That'd be a bummer. Inquisition of Kozilek. Interesting choice. I will Thought Seize you, opponent, but not in the way you suspect. Sure, have your 1-drop. I probably wasn't going to take your Noble Hierarch. I'll take this Reflector Mage. They can have this Phantasmal Image. I have 2 Flicker Wisps to kill it. They might... they'd probably name Path before they name Flicker Wisp here, right? Because now they know the jig is up, I'm on Eldrazi taxes. Oh, man. Did TMS spike again? I guess while I'm already on TCG Player. Opponent just drew a Meddling Mage. Interesting. So they can Meddling Mage a bunch of my stuff. Curious what their choices are. One of them is going to be Path. They might actually, like, image... Interesting choice. I might have actually wanted to Phantasmal Image my own Tide Hollow so they could more relevantly Meddling Mage. It's not the worst plan. They might just make 2 Meddling Mages, though. Yeah, TMS is like 80, 90, whatever. Am I just gonna, like... Are they gonna, like, draw step Tide Hollow me? Nope. Interesting that they're just choosing to not use their Phantasmal Image. Image Hollow, take Path, Mage, Flicker Wisp. Yeah, exactly. That would have been like such a bummer. I think the opponent should have just imaged my Tide Hollow and made their Meddling Mage better. That would have been horrible for me if they just took the Path and then Meddling Mage, Flicker Wisp. Do I even want to play a Flicker Wisp here? Probably not. If I play Flicker Wisp, I actually give my opponent a Flicker Wisp with their Phantasmal image, and then they can flicker my Tide Hollow and then like Violin their Reflector Mage or something next turn. So we're just gonna go with Shambling Vet Thalia here. Even though it's just really awkward and clunky, I just kind of want to wait until my opponent uses this Phantasmal image. Because giving them a Flicker Wisp would just go very badly for me. Also, next turn I can line up Flicker Wisp plus Path to Exile or something. Can hold the Flicker Mage to give... Yeah, exactly. Next turn I can Flicker Wisp plus Path to Exile something. Opponent just sitting on this Phantasmal image is kind of weird to me. They're just gonna wait until they top deck Reflector Mage or Mantis Rider or some nonsense. What is this? Champion of the Parish? Thalia's Lieutenant? Man, this is Thalia's Lieutenant. Jeez. Holding the image for, like, this exact card is really punishing. At least we get to blow up... Oh, it's actually really ugly. So we have to Flicker Wisp this mage, but that makes these lieutenants bigger. And we get to path the lieutenant or something? This is horrendous. That Thalia's Lieutenant was so bad. That attack seems like not. I feel like just attacking with both creatures is totally fine here. They can give me path online if I wipe my board and give them the Reflector Mage back. I think they could have just attacked with both. I think we might just be dead now, though. Regardless. Can't path because of Thalia. Oh yeah, right, because I played my Thalia. That's true. Well, I guess I'm killing this lieutenant then. Probably should have played this Shambling then. I think we're basically dead regardless, but we just can't beat a bunch of 4/4s even if we were to be able to Flicker Wisp plus Path here. That Thalia's Lieutenant was so brutal. I'm not positive my opponent sandbagging the Phantasmal image was correct, but it worked out for them really well. What you got, opponent? Is this a Reflector Mage? Alright. Enough. Reflector Mage bounce my Tide Hollow, Violent Reflector Mage bounce Flicker Wisp, attack me for like 8 million, sure. I would really appreciate not getting, like, horrendously beaten to death for once today. I guess we won against Grixis Shadow at least, but we've been getting pretty horrendously unlucky. Arbiters and Thalias are horrible. I guess this Lingering Souls, it doesn't do anything. It just, like, chump blocks a bunch. These Lingering Souls don't feel very good in this matchup. What else would be even reasonable? Relic Order only hits Aether Vial. Maybe it is just do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is probably fine. 2 Fatal Pushes, 2 Settles, 4 Paths, Stranglers. The issue is the 2-drop slot, right? Because now we've just totally thrown off the curve. Just maxing out on 3s. So it's feasible to want to leave in some number of early game interaction, but we kind of have to lean on our pads. I can see why the other person was playing a 3rd Fatal Push. Just for the Humans matchup, but the Humans matchup isn't necessarily bad. Or, I guess, it's unfavored, but it's not like we're playing mono white. We have access to Strangler, we have access to stuff like Fatal Push in the sideboard, Zealous Persecution. We have at least some relevant 2-drops in, like, Tide Hollow Scholar. Whereas the mono-white deck has to cut their Thalias and their Arbiters because they're all bad, and then it just has a hole in their 2-drop slot. Alright, I will play first. Man, this basic swamp's really good in my deck, right? I don't think this is worth keeping. Like, Settle's such a good card, but we have no castable spells here. We have, eventually, turn 4, we get Vile up to 3, we could Violent Displacer and activate it. I think we can have a better 6, though. Yeah, this is arguably a better 6. I don't think I want this. I think I just want more, some early game stuff. Draw a path or a push. This Horizontal Pontiff awkwardly basically does nothing. Unless I get really lucky. It might snipe a Noble Hierarch or something like that. But not until turn 3. What do I want to draw here? I don't even know. Fatal Push is interesting. Do I push this Hierarch? I don't think I do, honestly. I may want to just push whatever they ramp into, and then I can Pontiff away the Hierarch. Yeah, I will shock this. Maybe shocking this is actually wrong, since I can just push it next turn if I play tapped. But then I don't get the Lingering Souls. Although, worst case is what, Mantis Rider here, because I can't push that. I just shocked for no reason. Alright, the ultimate punish. If I had Ghost Quarter. If I had put Ghost Quarter instead of Temple, I could have actually set this up, but it's definitely a hard series of events to foresee. So we took 2 extra damage that we didn't necessarily need to. Land. Ghost Quarter. Technically a land. Could Ghost Quarter them, push the Hierarch? Or push the Mantis Rider then? Can't cast the Souls until next turn. Yeah. And Ghost Quarter push. But as another Mantis Rider, we're kind of in a bad spot. Champ, sure. Champ into Mantis Rider, perhaps? Ooh. Are they going to cast nothing? Oh man. Is this Pontiff about to be insane? We actually going to possibly take this game? Please don't cast it. Yes. This is the best. This is the best day ever. Thought not my opponent. Nice Phantasmal images, I guess. My opponent can Thought Not Me, take my Lingering Souls, which is kind of a bummer. Which I feel like they will do. Unless they drew something better somehow. When did they reveal this Ancient Ziggurat? Was that in their hand already? Yeah, I think that was like the other card in their hand. That doesn't cast your thing. Unless you're, like, meddling maging me first. Nope, that still doesn't cast your thing. There we go. They got there. Yep, they thought I'd take my Lingering Souls, which is kind of a bummer. You can't really attack, because I think them drawing cards is better than me drawing cards. We draw a Displacer or Flicker Wisp would just be nuts here, though. Yeah, that's fine, too. Wait, I don't even have to sack this Ghost Quarter, so I can just target it, right? And this dies, I draw a card. Not a good card. I could Ghost Quarter them as a free Stone Rain, but I think my lands are just more valuable than my opponent's. My opponent can operate very easily on just 2 H's Ziggurats on basic planes. Alright, that's good. Opponent only has 1 card left in hand, right? We might be able to actually take this game. What's the worst case scenario here? Hostage Taker, probably. Hostage Taker, this Thought Knot's here. But they don't have it, so that's good. We want to draw Displacer or Flicker Wisp. Displacer, I think, is the hands down best draw. Displacer plus Pontiff really puts my opponent in the ground. Opponent passing priority, question mark? There we go. Punch. They have like Resto, they can eat the Pontiff, but I don't particularly care about that. That doesn't cast Resto, opponent. Oh, is this Static Caster? Sure. You can kill my Pontiff. You got me. The question is, what do I haunt? I'll haunt their Static Caster? Probably. I'll haunt my opponent's Static Caster. Alright, so opponent needs to find an answer for this 4/4. If they have Reflector Mage, I can take this Vial up to 4. This is just a Noble Hierarch? Deal. Attack me for 1. Opponent likes to sit in my upkeep with this File Trigger on the stack. Opponent not F6ing through my turn. I guess they have Static Caster. They can punish my 1-drops. Not drawing very hot, but neither is the opponent, so hopefully we can get there. So I need to fade... Mantis Rider would be scary, because it punches me for 4 and then trades with my Thought Knot. Thinks that it is a Static Caster. Oh, second Hierarch. That's not scary. If I can find a way to kill the Staticaster, it'd be great, because I could get the Haunt off. But I think both my pushes are already gone. So most of my stuff that would deal with it, just exile it. Eh, not the worst top deck. At least it's a creature. Opponent should start jump blocking soon-ish. Yeah. This block doesn't help them not die to, like, Flicker Wisp. Still worried about, what, Mantis Rider? Reflector Mage would be kind of annoying, but not the worst. They would get to draw, like, just Violent Reflector Mage, bounce this, and then draw an extra card. Oh, opponent's dead. Sweet. Now we can have to just do this one more time when they're on the play, which is really bad for me. We'll just have an open hand of, like, Fatal Push, Path, Settle, Wreckage, 3 lands, and it'll be fine. Alright. Good opener. Aether Vial. Godless. Can't cast Tide Hollow. Can't cast most of this hand. I think we ship this. We just need more interaction. We can win the late game a lot easier. We just need to weather the early game, and this hand does not weather the early game at all. We need to just ship this for something with more lands and, like, Settle the Wreckage, or Paths, or Fatal Pushes. We got more lands. Do I go to 5? I have to go to 5, right? This hand's never going to win either. Alright. This hand, surprisingly, isn't the worst. You know, we'll keep Double Path. We're going to Ghost Quarter ourselves for basic planes. But we have 2 Path Exiles and a Vial. As long as my opponent doesn't Meddling Mage Path. Ooh, opponent with no 1-drop. Thank the Lord. Maybe we'll even draw the White Source, and life will be great, and I won't have to Ghost Quarter myself. A boy can dream. Is this Thalia? Please don't be. This has to be Thalia. Yeah. Now I need to hit a 3rd land, or a 2nd land. Actually, no, I can fire off the Path if I really need to. Look at Path of Thalia. Not great. At least we get to Vial this in next turn. So, float, mana off Temple, Ghost Quarter, I find a Plains, can Path the Thalia. But I'll likely just not Path the Thalia if I don't have to. If I play a Mantis Rider here, I'll consider doing that. Kitesail Freebooter, that's fine. I have 2 paths. That resolves. Now I'm kind of priced into pathing the Freebooter, though. To get my other path back. But that's probably worth it. Take this Vial up. Really want to draw a white producing land. Come on, deck. I'll take it. Now we Vial in Tide Hollow on their draw step. Take a look at what they have going on here. Well, that's horrifying. That is a lot of Reflector Mages, and also a Phantasmal Image. Huh, that is downright terrifying. Guess I'll take a Reflector Mage. Shouldn't matter, they're just gonna Reflector Mage this Tide Hollow anyway. Do I have to leave this Vial on 2? path the freebooter here. I think the best card we can draw is Thought-Knot-Seer at this stage. So if I path the freebooter, I get path back. I can also just set this up so I can flicker wisp the freebooter and like fire off both paths or something. I think we're fine just taking the damage here. No, I think we actually do need to path this. Because next turn, they still have 2 Reflector Mages in hand. So next turn, if I Vial in the Tide Hollow, I just take a Reflector Mage, they cast Reflector Mage, bounce the Tide Hollow again. I think we do just need to path this to get our other path back. Channel Event's a decent draw. Maybe I'm supposed to actually Ghost Core to this Horizon Canopy so they can't cantrip with it. Did they play the Horizon Canopy for turn? I can't actually see. Doesn't say what land they played. Alright, it just says cast Reflector Mage. Weird. I guess they... Yeah. Ghost Core in the Canopy is just a free roll. Kill a land here. Doesn't let me animate the Shambling Events, actually. But I'm missing a color to animate Shambling Events anyway. Let's kill the Horizon Canopy. So we're going to take 4 here, go to 11. Let's take a look at what they have again. Meddling Mage, huh? Take a Reflector Mage. If they cast Meddling Mage, we just fire off the path. Since they know about the path in my hand right now. Okay, so they did have another Canopy. That wasn't crazy. They like Metal Mage plus Phantasmal Image the Reflector Mage. Instead of just playing the Mage here. This is like unnecessarily complicated. There's so many Reflector Mages to play through. I think we're probably just dead unless we find something like a Settle the Wreckage. To that regard, I think we need to path this Thalia. Opponent figured out the line. Oh, no, they are casting the Metal Mage first. Okay. So we path this Thalia. Because I think our plan is to draw land and Settle the Wreckage. Which is basically our only out. Opponent's hand is now Mage plus Image, and they will likely Image the Mage, bounce this Tide Hollow. God, it's so late. I'm so tired. What are they going to name here? Path anyway? Thought-Knot-Seer, maybe? They do kind of get brick-walled by a big card. Yeah, okay, they just name Path anyway, even though I have 2 left. That's fair. And a Phantasmal Image. Copying Reflector Mage. Bounce this, and then their hand is Mage. Then we can Flicker Wisp, kill their Phantasmal Image, Vial and Tide Hollow again, take a Mage. Then they still have 1 Mage left after that. Please. What do I want to draw here? Wasteland Strangler is probably like the best draw. Wow, they're gonna Tide Hollow me? Now? That seems so weird. I mean, it definitely like bodies me horribly. This seems like an unusual play by the opponent, though. now we'll take this vial up to 3. Looking for Displacer, Flicker Wisp. Ooh. Ho ho ho. Suddenly the game is on. We might be more in this than I thought I was, all of a sudden. So if opponent mages this Tide Hollow, they get back their other mage. But I can Violent Displacer, kill the Tide Hollow, get my Flicker Wisp back, and block a 2-3. Interesting that that's their only attack. They have 3 mana up, 2 cards in hand. I think I'll just eat it, right? Even if they mage, I just have this vial on 3 still. I guess Staticaster could have kind of got me there. They're not even casting the mage here? I don't know what's happening. Wait, do they have a mage left? Am I, like, losing track? Yeah, no, they have 3 mages. So one's in their hand, and one's in the graveyard, right? Wait, and then one's under here. What are they... What is my opponent's plan here? Now I'll attack. I feel like suddenly we're on the front foot of this game with this Displacer top deck. Mantis Rider? That's fine. So the last card in their hand is Reflector Mage, so I can just tap this down. Opponent cannot attack very profitably at all. We're just going to Violent Flicker Wisp, flicker out this Meddling Mage too, and just attack them for like 8. Opponent's not even attacking. I guess they know of the Flicker Wisp. I wouldn't trade, but... Let's tap down their Mantis Rider. Violent Wisp, flicker the Meddling Mage. I don't really care what they put this on at this point, because we just have this Vial on 3 and a bunch of stuff in play with the Displacer. Get out of here, Meddling Mage. Oh, man. Suddenly we are in this game, ladies and gentlemen. They get Meddling Mage back, sure, name whatever you want. What would you like to name, opponent? I think you're just dead. We have a Displacer activation, we have a Flicker Wisp, we have almost lethal just in the air. We'll have 2 Flicker Wisps plus Shambling Event if we need to for like 3 lethal attackers on the ground. They just name Path again, sure. So if they mage, I'm just going to blink whatever they attempt to mage. Or I might Flicker Wisp whatever they attempt to mage. So I can leave up Displacer, so I can displace the Mantis Rider to tap it down. Untap, tap down Meddling Mage, and then they die. They take 6 from the 2 Flicker Wisps, and they can Reflector Mage block anything, but then they block one of the 2 things, but then they die. Depends on what the last card in hand is after this Reflector Mage. What you got? Lift the veil, opponent. Blue. Blue. There's no creature that just costs 2 blue here, right? No idea what they're doing. Please. Opponent is playing really slowly. I would like to kill them, because I think we're very solid here. That still does not cast... What's this, Restoration Angel? You can't... Opponent really has trouble casting Phantasmal Image. I wonder what they're going to copy. Mantis Rider, sure. It's literally just going to explode. I have a Displacer. And now they have to cast Reflector Mage now because they floated this mana. This should be game over, right? Oh, are they going to combat? Deal. Now they're extra dead. The last card in hand is a Reflector Mage. We're going to tap down this Mantis Rider, Flicker Wisp, kill this Mantis Rider, untap, Flicker Wisp down the Meddling Mage, attack for super lethal. I don't even have to play around with this Reflector Mage because my opponent does not know how to produce blue mana to cast Phantasmal Images. Tap that down. Kill the Mantis Rider. Opponent, I don't know what... Their last card in hand is this 3rd Reflector Mage, right? I'm not going crazy. Because they've just been, like, not casting this for, like, 3 turns for no reason. Alright, you are just dead. Cool. We'll tap this down for good measure. Please die, opponent. You have 3 minutes left on the clock. And I have lethal. You have 1 card in hand. Thank you. Jeez, I don't know what was taking them so long. Finally managed to play through that last match. Christ. So this was an interesting deck configuration. I didn't hate Lingering Souls. I definitely need to try out a list like this a little bit more. We did run into a lot of bad luck. We got top-decked by Titan Shift, top-decked by Blue Moon, had a super close game against Mardu Pyromancer, but ultimately died. And what did we kill? We beat up Grixis Shadow and then Humans. We beat Humans on Multiple 5, notably, with all thanks to that top-deck Displacer. Also, my opponent not knowing how to cast their 3rd Reflector Mage, but whatever. That was felt good. We did 2-3, which is like kind of gross, but it happens. You don't 3-2 every day. And I do like a sort of deck configuration like this. I'm going to keep trying out Lingering Souls going forward. I do want to try it out some more, just to see where it does shine, where it sucks, where I'm going to be missing something like the 4th Thalia or Rest in Pieces in the sideboard, stuff like that. So, kudos to, I'm going to shout out Mean Fanny Pack again on Reddit, who posted a top 4 SCG regionals tournament report, in which kind of inspired me to give the Lingering Souls another try, which it definitely feels like it could be something. It was a little awkward at times, but it also was really good, producing a bunch of jump blockers, having flying clocks against stuff like Death Shadow. So I enjoyed it. We're going to try it again, I guess, next week, because we're probably... I think this is going to actually be the last stream for this week. I usually stream Monday through Friday, but tomorrow and the next day are pretty busy for me. I have...
Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah, going to like Shakespeare in the Park on Thursday. Friday I have work commitments and having to prep for the RPTQ on Sunday that I'm going to, so pretty busy, but we will be back to our normal schedule next Monday. So, thank you all for joining me today. This is my end of stream wrap up here while I also find someone to host real quick. So, if you enjoyed the content today, you want to see more Death and Taxes, you liked hanging out, you can hit the follow button. It costs you totally nothing, helps you know when I'm going live, helps other people find my content. Other than that, you can subscribe. You can subscribe or donate. Subscriptions get you the Thalia emote that all the time was showing off in chat. That's also pictured in the sideboard or usually in like the text box during the matches. Subscriptions will get you the ability to suggest a deck list that you want me to play, some sort of variation of Death and Taxes if you want to see a certain card, or certain archetypes, certain color splashes, or even formats. I play Legacy and Modern Death and Taxes all the time. Basically, decks that have Thalia, Guardian Thraben in it, it's hard to pass up. I'm down for a lot of stuff. Good quality D&T content every... Yes, exactly. We play Legacy here, we play all sorts of Modern. I played Humans once. Chat was not pleased. So, unless someone really wants to see Humans and donates for it, then we'll keep playing the real Thalia decks. The sweet Thalia decks. Yeah, Aishinine is the person that makes my emotes. If we get more subscribers, we get more emotes, so that's pretty cool. I do have a Strangler emote promised to all the time at some point. So we're going to find someone to host here. I enjoyed everyone hanging out. Thank you again to, was it Fluffy Wolf 2? Let me scroll up the chat here. Yeah, Fluffy Wolf 2 for the raid. It was awesome. Ooh, someone streaming Legacy, the Epic Storm. Test beats the crap out of Death and Taxes in Legacy. But not a lot of other people are streaming. So yeah, we're going to host this other person playing Legacy, even though they play a deck that beats the crap out of me. I'm not bitter. I'll still host them. Good luck at the tournament Sunday. Thanks. Yeah, I guess this is the last time I will be I'll be chatting with you guys. Until next week, I'm going to the RPTQ on Sunday, which is Team Unified Standard, the worst possible format that I could think of. I do not have a lot of Standard experience. I'll be playing Mono Red. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes on Monday when I should be back to normal streaming stuff. We'll hopefully have some good news. We'll do decently well. But worst case, we walk home with like drive home with like 3 Noble Hierarchs. So anyway, that's going to wrap up the stream tonight. Thanks you all for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the content. And I'll see you guys all next week.